This week's episode is sponsored by Guidance by Lee.
This week's episode of Resilience Unscripted is sponsored by PK Law Group.
And a special thanks to Stop Short Auto Spa.
You see teenage star that you fall in love.
We're back with another episode of Resilience Unscripted. This week I'm here with Jacki from Weymouth.
Hi, guys.
Hi. This is episode 22.
22.
Shit's flying by, huh, Tim? Tell me a little about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Jacki, Jacqueline, born Jacqueline, but go by Jacki now. Well, it's weird because, only people from Weymouth call me Jacqueline. Everybody in my, recovery life calls me Jacki, so I feel like it's, my new persona. Jacki
I like that.
is, my sober name.
I love that.
Okay, yeah, so born and raised in Weymouth. Did my recovery in Quincy, living in Roxbury now.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you like it?
I don't love it. So I loved it in Quincy. So when I got sober, I went to Sober House in Quincy. Should I shout them out? Bennington.
Go ahead.
Bennington House. Yeah, shout out.
Love you.
And so I'm going through a struggle right now. Well, I was going through a struggle with DCF. On the tail end of it now, by the grace of God, thanks to my sobriety, I was able to gain custody of my daughter back. So her and I are currently living in a family sober house.
Okay.
They say it's Dorchester, but it's actually Roxbury. So we're in Roxbury. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It could be a lot worse. It's just the location for me that's inconvenient.
Because you're used to being down the
Yes,
South Shore.
I'm used to being in Quincy. All of my recovery friends are in Quincy. All of my meetings are in Quincy. And then I have to live in Roxbury. But I'm making the best of it.
Yeah, that's all we can do, right?
Yes.
How's your daughter like it? She must be happy to be back with you.
Yeah, so at first, I was very nervous because my mom had to take temporary custody of her, which we'll get into all that. But so my mom had her in Weymouth, and then DCF told me when it was ready for me to take her back, we had to go into an IHR program. Mm-hmm. And it was in Roxbury, so I was so nervous that she's gonna be I want to go back home, and that she was gonna hate it. I would literally cry about it before I got her back. But so I took her back, and she didn't even notice. I would just be are you ready to go? She calls it the new house.
Aww.
And yeah, I decorated our room so cute, and because I wanted her to feel comfortable, And yeah, so she loves it. She looks forward to going there, which makes me so happy because I was literally if she started crying and was I want to go back to Pinky, that's what she calls her mom, my mom, then that would have made me so sad. But she loves it.
So she's with you full time.
Yes.
And this is a women's and children's.
It's actually not women and children. It's family. So there's men there too.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
So
is a little weird.
But everyone has their own room.
Yes, so it's a triple-decker house in Dorchester, Roxbury, whatever, which a lot of people don't know about it. So
I'm just learning about
yeah,
this.
so it's actually considered a family shelter. So it's a triple-decker in Dorchester, and then each floor has an apartment, and I'm on the third floor, and I share an apartment with another mom and her daughter, and then a guy and his daughter.
Okay.
And Nikki and I share a room, and they share a room, and they share a room. But it's a really nice house. I was shocked. I thought it was going to be kind of a dump. Because when you think shelter in your head, you don't think of the nicest place. But this place is actually really nice. So I'm grateful for that.
So it has a common kitchen, common bathroom in each apartment.
Yes.
That's nice though.
Yeah.
And it gives your daughter the chance to be with other children.
Yes,
So they're able to mingle and stuff and friendship.
So she's the oldest of the kids. My daughter's 3, and then there's a 2-year-old and a just turned 2-year-old. So Nikki, my daughter, is the oldest. So she thinks she's so cool.
She's running the show.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's really nice that they have little kids to play with. So yeah, I'm there now, but Yeah, if you want. I don't know. We can get into the whole story.
Let's
Okay.
start from the beginning. What prompted you to get into recovery?
Okay, so I started using like as a young teenager. Well, like when I was in like middle school up to like high school, I was like a really good kid. Like wasn't interested in drugs or any of that. Like played soccer, gymnastics, cheerleading, like all like the things. And then it wasn't until I like started getting interested in a boy who was like a bad kid, that's when like, which you probably hear that a lot with girls, that like once they met like that guy, that like changed everything. So yeah, he was like but he wasn't a bad kid, he was just hanging around with the bad
the wrong
people.
people.
Yeah. And like I was in love, I was like 14 and we started dating. And then that's when like the Oxycontin started coming around. Like my whole like hometown, Weymouth, I feel like fell victim to the Oxycontin epidemic hard. Like the good kids, the bad kids, like everyone.
The OC80s?
Yes, literally. Like
Winthrop was the same way.
really
Bad.
like
East Boston.
Yes.
Literally, I think all of Massachusetts got hit
Yeah.
hard.
like having the green coating on all of my shirts from like taking off the coating. Oh my gosh. So like I literally remember the first time I did an opiate. And like I say this all the time, I was never like looking for relief. I didn't have trauma. I just was in my aunt's medicine cabinet one day and me and my friend like found a bottle of pills and like decided to try it. And like that feeling I felt, like I wasn't looking for it, but after I felt it, I was like, oh my God, like this is a very good feeling. So like from then on, like I just always wanted to feel like that. And like I like to share that like I didn't have any like childhood trauma, because a lot of people think you become an addict because you have trauma, but like that wasn't the case for me.
Not for everyone.
Yeah, like I just felt this feeling and I liked it and just chased it. So yeah, like my whole group of friends, well, I shouldn't say my whole group of friends, but the majority of them fell victim to this Oxycontin epidemic. Like by the grace of God, there was a few that like got out and like didn't become addicts. But so yeah, this kid I was with, we just went on this chase, like doing whatever we could to get these pills. And like they were $80 a pill and we're like 17 at the time. So we're like robbing our parents, like just doing crazy shit. And like looking back, I'm like, I can't even believe like I was doing that. So like I barely graduated high school. I was having to like make fake doctor's notes on the computer, and this was like way before ChatGPT. So I'm like, well, this was like MySpace days kind of. And like, did you have a MySpace? Obviously.
I don't think I had a
You
MySpace.
didn't? Oh my
No.
God, I feel like you'd be such a MySpace
No,
girl.
I had Twitter. I had, is it AIM?
AIM, yeah.
Yeah, I had AIM. I had Facebook, very late into Facebook,
Yeah.
and Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this about MySpace, but
Could make doctor's notes?
Well, no, but
All right.
it's leading into it. So you used to be able to like create your own like profile, and you needed to know how to like do coding. Like, have you heard of this?
I've seen it.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
all the TikTok throwbacks
Yes,
and everything.
yes. So you needed to know how to do like HTML, and like he knows what I'm talking about.
He's shaking his head.
Yes. So like back then I was like very like technically savvy on the computer, which like I'm not really anymore, but back then I was. So I like was able to figure out how to make fake doctor's notes. And I was missing so much school because I would be dope sick in the morning. And like back then I didn't know. Like I remember like being in biology class first period and I had like a big hoodie on. I'm like sweating through my hoodie and like not even knowing I was in withdrawal. So my boyfriend at the time, who I was using with, he was at the alternative school for like the bad kids. So they would get out at 12. So he would come to the regular high school at 12 every day, and I would like run out of school like because I was sick and just needed to get high. So yeah, I was able to graduate because I was able to pass the fake doctor's notes. So it's like, thank God I never got caught, because that's like a felony probably,
Yeah.
like forging a doctor's signature.
You were a minor though.
Yeah.
So you're good.
So I graduated, and then after I graduated, like I had no plans to go to college. Like a lot of the people in my grade obviously were like had these big dreams, and like I just like wanted to get high. Like that was my dream. And so I decided like to go to community college, like just because that's what I was supposed to do. And then the heroin came around, and from there like life just went crazy. And like I literally can remember like that first day too. I was with that boyfriend, and we were at our friend's house, and we're like trying to figure out how can we get $80. Well, by this time we probably needed more because like our tolerance was high, but whatever. We're like trying to figure out who we can steal from or like whatever. And his the friend's house we were at, his uncle was like a known like dealer in the area, and we had seen a car pull up with like this Hispanic guy in it. So my friend was like, let me just go talk to my uncle and like see what's good. So then he comes back, and I like remember like vividly, he opens his hands, and like he has these bags in his hand, and it was heroin. And like back at that time in my life, I was always like, I would never do heroin because like OCs are like way better than heroin, which like it's literally the same thing. I mean, not really, but basically it's like synthetic, whatever. So
Same feeling.
yes, exactly. And I actually, so like right after this happened, well, we did the heroin obviously, and then I remember my mom had found out I was using because she had found like a bag of pills that my boyfriend hid under my air conditioner in my room. She just happened to be taking the air conditioners out and found them. And then that's when like my cover was blown, and like I finally admitted to her I was using. And like she was like, you have to go to treatment. So that's when I went to treatment for the first time. I remember it was the summer. I think I was either I feel like I was about to turn 18, but maybe I was about to turn 19 because you probably have to be 18 to go into treatment, right? Because it wasn't like a juvenile place.
You were in community college?
Yeah,
18,
yeah,
18,
yeah,
19.
Yeah. So I went to my first detox, and I just remember being there. And at the time, I was there for pills because like I had only tried heroin once. And I remember everybody in there being like, why are you spending $80 on a pill when you can just shoot heroin? And like leaving there like made me want to do heroin, which is crazy. Like I went there with a pill problem.
They planted the seed in you.
Yes, absolutely. And I went there with the pill problem and like left like with an urge to just want to do heroin because they were glamorizing it so much. So after I left there, went back to the boyfriend, and we just like went crazy. Like we ended up homeless on the street, like by choice, which I always say like we were homeless by choice because we both had like loving families we could have lived with, but like you can't live there and shoot heroin. And like I always share about how like the first time I shot heroin, because we literally had to call our friend and be like, how do you shoot heroin? Like, how do you load the needle? And it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be using a needle. You know what I mean? Like having to call someone and ask, like, you're literally injecting stuff into your arm. Like when I think about it now, it's like, I feel like that girl I was back then is like such a different girl than I am now. And like, I just wish I could like reach out to her and like help her. But so
well,
yeah.
You can now.
Yes. Like, yeah, when I think back on like these memories, I'm just like, how was I living like that? So yeah, him and I were together using for a while, and then just like running the streets, doing heroin, doing coke, doing like all of it. And then that's when like we started doing like the detox shuffle. Like we wouldn't go to detox because we wanted help. We would just go because we were sick and had no money. Like back then, like for me at least, getting sober wasn't even an option. Like I didn't want to be sober. Like I was having fun. So I thought, you know, like I wasn't realizing yet that like I had a disease and that I couldn't stop. Like in my head, I was like, when I'm ready to stop, I'll stop. So yeah, like I ended up getting sectioned like 9 times to WotC, which is crazy.
Did you ever try to escape?
I didn't.
I was listening to Nikki's story.
Yeah, I didn't escape, but I did get kicked out once. And I got kicked out because I called the director, I see you next Tuesday. And I was in the shower, and they literally had the New Bedford police come and lug me out of there. And they took me back to court, and I thought they were going to send me to Framingham. But because I was already like so many days into the section, the judge just let me go. So I remember being in Quincy Center with like shoes on, with no shoelaces, because I just got out of WotC and like had no cell phone. And I remember going to the Quincy library, and because like using the free internet, and going on AIM, which we were just talking about, and like instant messaging my cousin and being like, can you call grandpa, tell him to come pick me up at the Quincy library? And he did. But yeah, like just like the craziness of like the shit that we used to do to get high. So yeah, so I was just going through like the detox shuffle, would just go to treatment to like, I would look for somebody with money, somebody with a car, or somebody with an apartment. And like, that was my goal of treatment. It wasn't to like get sober at all. And so as this is going on, like him and I would like go to treatment together, which is like a horrible idea. Like never go to treatment with your boyfriend because it doesn't work. And like would start fighting and get kicked out together. So eventually he ended up going to a program, and he ended up going to East Boston Rehab. Shout out North Shore. Are you familiar with East Boston Rehab?
Of course I am.
Obviously. So is that like a reputable house?
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
I have nothing bad to say about it.
yeah. Okay. So like at the time when he was there, I guess it was like a really good house. Like it was strict, like 12-step house.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, oh, he's gonna go there and like leave in a couple weeks because like that's what we did. But he didn't. He stayed sober, and like he's still sober to this day. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like I had a huge resentment against him because I felt like he like left me in the gutter, even though looking back now, it's like he couldn't get me sober. Like he got sober for himself, and like obviously was hoping I would do the same, but I couldn't. And like obviously he had to move on with his life. And like I get that now, like as I did my 4th step and like wrote about it. But like back when I was still using, like I just,
It hurts.
yeah, I had such a big resentment. Like, how are you going to get me into drugs and then leave me stranded? But like I said, like you can't get anybody else sober. Like they say,
It happens
somebody
a
will
lot
get
more.
you high before you get them sober.
It happens a lot more often than you think.
Yeah.
It's something I've heard a lot working in treatment. People's family members, boyfriends, girlfriends will get each other in it, and they'll be the first one to pull themselves out of it.
Yes. But like, so now he's like working in recovery, like married with kids, like living the life like I wish I had. With the life I'm building now. It just took me like 10 extra years.
But you're getting there.
Exactly.
And you're
like,
making
better
progress.
late than never, right?
Right.
So after he got sober, and like I was devastated, and then like, so after that I was just like on my own, just like getting high, just like running the streets by myself, just like meeting random people, like you know how it is. So let me like fast forward a little bit. Yeah, okay. So as for my recovery, like it did not come easy for me. Like I struggled a lot. Like I said, I had this mindset where like I thought when I wanted to stop, I would be able to stop. But once like I started realizing like this isn't fun anymore, like all my friends are dying. Like literally so many people from my hometown were just dropping dead from heroin. And this was before the fentanyl started coming. So I would just like keep trying to go to treatment, but like I was never taking it seriously. Like never listening. Like people would be like, you need to get a sponsor, you need to do the 12 steps. And I would be like in my head, I thought I could order like a 12-step workbook on Amazon and like sponsor myself. Cause like I don't need a sponsor, you know, cause I'm the anomaly. That's what I thought. So yeah, and like how sick I was too at this time, I was like manifesting my dream boyfriend. Okay. And this was what it was I want like a cute Puerto Rican drug dealer boyfriend. That was my like dream in life.
We've all been there.
Right? So like I don't have to buy my own drugs, and like he'll be cute, and like I'll just get high for the rest of my life, and like that's goals. And so wow, it actually came true somehow. I met a Puerto Rican drug dealer boyfriend and my dreams came true. Not joking, guys. So I meet him like through a friend, and I didn't know that he was like a user. I thought he was just a dealer because like that's the persona like he gave. And I would notice like that he would like sneak off to the bathroom sometimes, and I thought like maybe he was doing coke or something. But then we started dating, and I realized like he was doing Fetty. Like by this point in the story, like the heroin had gone, which is like another topic. But like, isn't that crazy? Like,
It is.
Where did the heroin go? I don't.
It's
even
not pure.
get
Nothing's
it.
pure no more.
It's so crazy. Like the fentanyl just took over.
Because it's easier to make. It's cheaper to make. You
Yeah,
can mix
but like,
anything with
weren't
it.
there like cartels providing heroin? Like,
Yeah.
where did they go?
I'm out of business, clearly.
I guess.
Like, they're gone now.
So I met this guy, and like I thought my life was just gonna be easy because he was gonna give me heroin and I wasn't gonna have to do anything. And like, the friggin' craziness, the addictiveness.
No, we
and,
feed
like,
our own delusions, by
yes,
the way.
literally feeding my own delusion. And like, yeah, it obviously was a shit show because he was using, I was using, and then the money's gone and just life gets crazy. And like, so then I end up getting pregnant, and this is like where the story starts to change. So I had like always wanted a baby and like thought like that I was gonna like find a husband, white picket fence, all the things, but like I was just using my whole life and like obviously wasn't gonna have a baby pregnant. Like, and I throughout the years I would see my friends or like acquaintances getting pregnant and having babies, and like seeing the babies get taken or like seeing the grandparents raise the kids, and I was like, that would never be me. Like, I would never get my baby taken because again, I'm feeding my own delusion. Like, in my head I just assumed like if you get pregnant you have to stop using, but like the reality of it is if you're not doing the work to get sober, like it's not just a
Right.
button that goes off. And it's really sad, but it's the truth. So I got pregnant, and I didn't find out I was pregnant until like kind of late in the pregnancy. And like I think at that point it was too long to terminate the pregnancy. And so I decided to keep it. And at this time I was on methadone, which, oh my God, I completely forgot to go into the whole methadone story. I was on methadone for 7 years, and like did not work at all. It just enabled me. Like, I'm not against medically assisted treatment, but like the way I look at it now, like it just enables people. Yeah, so no, nothing against medically assisted treatment. I got sober on Sublocade and it worked for me. I'm free of medically assisted treatment today.
I love that.
But like if you use it correctly, I'm all for it. But the methadone, I wasn't using correctly. Like, I just used it as a way to continue getting high and not be sick.
It's known for enabling a lot of people.
Yes.
And it's a substitute.
Yes. And like I forget to talk about this part of my story because the years I was on methadone, I was like a functioning addict. So like when I think back to my using days, I like only remember like the craziness. But like there was a long stretch of my life where I was using every day, but like I was getting up and going to work and living a functional life. And like people on the outside wouldn't assume I was a heroin addict until like you looked at my arms. And like I have like these like flashbacks of like that period of time where like my family like thought I was clean. I mean, I'm sure they had an idea, but like they didn't know like how bad it was because I was presenting normal, but like I would still have marks on my arms. And like I just have these like flashbacks of like going to reach for something and like somebody looking at my arm and me like pulling back wicked quick because like I would have marks all over my arms from using. And so yeah, like I thought I was going to be on methadone for the rest of my life. I was on it for 7 years, and then I got pregnant and I was still using fentanyl. And I found this place at Mass General, MGH, called the Hope Clinic. Shout out Hope Clinic, who like saved my life. So I went in and like told them everything because they're like a facility for like moms in addiction, pregnant women. Have you heard of them?
I have.
Yes. So yeah, like I said, they saved my life. They saved my daughter's life. I'll like forever be grateful to them. But so I was still using, I was on methadone, and they were like, we need to do something because like you're pregnant. So there's this thing, it's called the method that they used to get me off methadone. It was called the Bernese method. And like I said, I thought I was going to be on methadone for the rest of my life because like they make you think that like you have to wean down like 2 milligrams a week, you're going to be sick, blah, 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 like the whole nine. But no, I was on 107 milligrams. They weaned me down to 80. And then at 80 milligrams, they started microdosing me with Suboxone. And then I was on Suboxone tabs for like 2 days. Then they gave me the injection. And then, wouldn't you know it, after 7 years of being on methadone, I was off methadone in like a week.
I love that.
Right? And like I've actually made TikToks about that before to talk about it because I feel like people don't realize how easy it is to actually get off. Like I was uncomfortable maybe for a couple days, but I wasn't sick. Like I feel like you hear stories about people like in jail, like committing suicide, detoxing from methadone.
Because they're not given the right method.
Yeah, right.
They're deprived of that method.
Yes. Which, like, I didn't know that method existed. I knew that you could get off methadone and get on Suboxone, but I just assumed you had to be on, like, 0 because of, like, precipitated withdrawals or whatever. And, like, I don't know how any of that works, but all I know is it worked for me and it literally saved my life. But, yes. But also, like, it's hard because I encourage people to do it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know if there's facilities you can go to that do it. Like, they did it for me because I was pregnant, but like, if the average girl went in there not pregnant, like, would they help her? I hope so.
I would hope so.
Right, but I don't know. But anybody,
it might be a different process.
Yeah, because they did like put me up in the hospital, which they probably wouldn't do if you were pregnant. But I'm sure if you like went to a detox and told them I want to do the Bernese method, like they would let you do it. I hope.
I know they do the tapers, but
Yeah.
I don't. That's a good question.
Right. Because like, yeah, anybody I meet on methadone, like I don't try to like push it, but like I just try to like let them know like there is a way off because I thought I was going to be on it for the rest of my life. My father has been on methadone for like as long as I can remember. And like I try to push it on him, but he's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I got off the methadone. Now I'm on Sublocade, and now I'm pregnant. And like baby dad is like not getting his shit together. The hospital, Hope Clinic doctors are like warning me like DCF's gonna be involved because of like your history. So they were preparing me, but like looking back, I wish I had like a friend or someone who had experience going through this prior to like prep me because I had no idea what I was getting into with DCF. Like I know now, like whatever you say to DCF, like they're writing that shit down.
Oh, yeah.
Like treat them like the police. Say as little as possible.
They are the police.
Literally. And like when I get nervous, like I just start rambling.
Same.
As you can probably tell now.
No, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same
and
thing.
like start saying too much information.
But I learned you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that will use that against you.
Yes, dude. Oh my god.
You gotta like zip it and pretend like you're telling somebody and you're really just telling yourself.
Yes. And like I just love to like talk too.
Same.
Yeah.
And I can't help it.
Right.
either.
So I remember like DCF coming.
What did you tell them?
Well, I told them like, yeah, like I used to do fentanyl, and which I didn't have to tell them that because
You were
by
being
that point it
honest.
wasn't in my system anymore. Yeah, I was being honest because that's what I learned. Be honest, but in this way, I wish I wasn't honest. I mean, I don't know whatever. I told them I smoke weed sometimes and I take benzos sometimes. So like I remember going to court. Like the first court date, like my daughter's like 10 days old and she's quoting me, I take benzo sometimes, I smoke weed sometimes. And I was so embarrassed. I used to do fentanyl sometimes, like keep saying sometimes, like my direct quote. And it was so embarrassing. But,
I've been like, lady, were you writing a fucking novel?
Yes.
Like, word for word?
But yeah, so like another thing like I used to be so embarrassed and ashamed to talk about this, but I like to talk about it now because people need to hear it, and it's my truth, which is like my daughter being born addicted. She was in the NICU for like several days. She had to be on morphine. And yeah, like I said, I used to like never talk about that because I was so ashamed, but it's like something I need to talk about, and like it's like I said, it's my truth, and like I know it will help another girl. Like there's probably going to be some pregnant girl out there watching
hears
this
this.
who's using and like struggling. So cuz like I said before, just because you get pregnant doesn't mean your brain's fixed and you're going to stop using. So unfortunately, like she was born, she was like addicted to methadone because I still had like all that methadone built up in my system. And then plus now I'm on Sublocade, and it was awful like to see. And like I remember like that feeling of seeing her in the hospital like sweaty, and like it broke my heart, but unfortunately that wasn't even enough to keep me sober. Like, and that's my truth too. And like it's, I feel like the biggest loser saying that. Like you literally had a baby who's born addicted and like you still can't stay sober, but it's because I wasn't putting in the work. Like I wasn't trying. Like you're not just going to wake up one day and get sober, like unless you actually do the work, which is what I'm going to get into. So after she was born, we had to go to a program for mothers and babies. We went to New Day in Somerville. Are you familiar with them?
I've heard of New Day.
Yeah, which I don't know if they're open anymore, but it was a great program, but they weren't really pushing recovery. It was kind of like we would have meetings sometimes where like we would read a chapter out of the big book, but it's not like anybody was encouraged to like get a sponsor or like go to meetings.
Right.
Like we would just be like, oh, we have little babies, like we can't go to meetings in the snow, which was true. But I mean, I did have my car. Like I wasn't supposed to have my car, but I would like hide it a few streets over. Just like manipulating. Like manipulation is a huge part of my story too. Just manipulating my way to make things be my way. Like, oh, we're not allowed to have a car. Well, I'm just gonna park it 2 streets away then, so you don't know. Like, just follow the rules, which I've learned now, kind of. But anyways, so we stayed at New Day, and I was sober for like the first time ever in my life for like a few months. But again, I wasn't doing the work, and if you don't do the work, you're not going to stay sober. I was abstinent. I was not like in recovery. So I like made it out of that house. Well, actually, I manipulated my way out of that house because my daughter was born with like a health condition, and it was winter at this time, and I went to her doctor and I was like, my daughter has a bad heart. My daughter had a heart surgery at 4 months. So I was like, she can't be around other kids in the winter. She's going to get sick. And manipulated her doctor into writing me a note so I could give it to the house so DCF would have to let me leave. And that's how I got out, because I was just done with that place, which I would have graduated in like a month anyways. But in my head, I think I just...
You wanted out.
Yeah, I
That
was done.
it.
I was checked out. I wanted to be able to use. And so I went back to my mom's. I started a PHP, which I loved. But like, again, I wasn't using it to get sober. I was using it as like a social gathering. I would just go to PHP every day to chill with my friends. I would like bring all my beads and make bracelets. And like, it was like a party every day. And wasn't listening. Like, I guess I was listening. They were like planting the seed. I mean, throughout this whole journey, like being in treatment so many times, like the seed was planted. Like I knew there was a way out, but I just didn't ever think I had the ability to do it. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm not even gonna try because I know I'm just gonna fail. And like fear is a big part of my story. Just like having so much fear, like I can't try to get sober because I'm going to fail, and then I'm going to look stupid, and it's not even worth it. And like I would see friends of mine through the years get sober through the program, and I was like, would obviously be so happy for them. Like it works for them, but I know it's not going to work for me because I can't do it because, again, like I had so much fear. So I had my daughter, and we're at my mom's house. I'm going to PHP. I'm using when she goes to bed at night. I'm like, she's like a baby at this point, and like I would be getting like so frustrated. I'm like, just go to bed so I can get high. And I talked about this with my sponsor, writing my fourth step, because she was like, did you put Nikki on your fourth step? And I was like, no, like why would I resent her? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I absolutely resented her. Like she was in the way of me wanting to get high. Like I obviously like loved her. I love my daughter, but like when you're using, like the drug is number one. Yeah. So I was driving home one day. I crashed my car into a fence. Like shit just started getting out of control, and like the facade I was trying to pull like was lifted. I had a meeting with Nikki's lawyer, her DCF lawyer, one morning, and she rang the bell, and I didn't answer it because we had like truly fallen asleep. But she went back and told them that I didn't answer because I was overdosed, even though I truly wasn't overdosed. But looking back now, like I could have been, like that was a possibility at the time. And I resented her a lot for doing that, because that ended up causing my daughter to get taken and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, looking back, like I was using at the time and I could have been overdosed. So like it's best that that happened, because who knows, I could have overdosed the next day or whatever. So my daughter ends up getting taken by the state into my mother's custody, not DCF custody. So that was great. Like, and
She was with somebody you could trust.
Yes. And like I was still able to see her all the time. But so now I basically was at my last chance, like my last straw with DCF. They had so she was like her foster mother, but now they were changing the goal to adoption. And like my parental rights were about to get terminated. And like this was my last straw. So I went into Charles River, July of 2024, and like something was just different this time, where like obviously all the DCF shit and like my daughter about to get adopted was like the number one reason, but like also it was just for myself. I'm like in my mid 30s, like I have no goals, no career aspirations, like no friends, like nothing going for me. Like am I just gonna live like this for the rest of my life? And like I said, it just wasn't fun anymore. Like I remember going to treatment and being like the youngest girl there and being like, oh, this is fun. But like once you start like realizing you're not the youngest one there anymore, and like this isn't fun anymore, and like it's not cool that you know all the fucking staff, like it's embarrassing. Like I would like see people who like thought it was cool to know all the staff, and like it gives me secondhand embarrassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I used to work in a detox.
Yes.
So I get it. They come in like, hey, how are you?
Yes,
Hi, like what's going on? It's
and
like,
people are being like, yeah, like,
it's like
she'll give me like an extra milk at breakfast because like that's my girl. Because
it's like this isn't social hour. This is like time for you to get it together.
Yes.
And I used to say like, what are you doing here? Like,
Right.
did I just see you 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And they'd be like, yeah, I'm back. And I'm like, why so soon? You know what I mean? Like, come on, like don't.
Yeah, and it's because like you're actually just like not trying. So this time I decided like I was gonna listen. I decided I was gonna truly like just turn my will over to God. And like I've always believed in God, like Catholic girl, but like
Same.
didn't like really go to church. I mean, I did as a kid, but like yeah. Like
I can't tell you
believe
that
in
I
a
go
higher
now.
power.
I don't
Yeah,
go now.
I don't either, but I want to go. So anyways, I hold on, stop. Okay, so I'm in treatment, and I decided I'm gonna turn my will over, like stop doing it Jacqueline's way and just do it the way it's laid out in the big book. Like people, they say like rarely has a person failed who's followed our steps, something like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. I have to walk through fear. That's like my life motto now, is walk through fear. So I went to Charles River. I started listening. I decided I was just going to do what they tell me to do. They suggested I go to further treatment, which like I'm such a big advocate for further treatment, because you cannot fix your brain in like 6 days. You can't fix your days in 30 days at a CSS. Like people think I'll go to detox, I'll go to CSS, I'll be fine. But guess what? No. It's like you have to learn how to live in recovery, not just like get physically better and like go to a few groups at CSS. You have to like be living in the environment, like around other sober people. You have to change the people, places, and things, which is like such a cliche thing to say,
But it's the
it's
truth.
so true. Like I would always go to treatment and then be like, oh, I can still hang around this person, but like I said before, they're gonna get you high before you're gonna get them sober. And it happened to me every time. So I decided I was gonna actually truly like give my all to this program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so my clinician like suggested I go to a sober house. Well, DCF was like basically not manipulating me. I was manipulating. They were telling me I had to go to a sober house. So I was trying to manipulate and be like, well, what if I just go back to my mom's and I'll go back to PHP, the PHP that I was literally just at, where I was using somebody else's pee and like it wasn't working. Like why would I there? You know, it makes no sense. It's the insanity. But they were like, no, like, let's go to a sober house. So I'm like, okay, like, we're not doing it my way. I'm just going to do what they tell me to do and, like, just see what happens. So I went to a sober house. I went to Bennington in Quincy. And shout out Bennington. And like I was nervous because like I had been to sober houses before, but like only for like a few days. I would just go there like to get a ride out of treatment, basically stay there for like a night and then be like, I'm leaving. And like it was because of my fear. Like I said, I was just so scared of failing that I didn't want to give it a try. So I went to this place and like the first day, like met the house manager and like she was amazing and like she made me feel like at ease. So like I'm so grateful for that because like that makes such a big difference when like you go somewhere and you have like welcoming people, not like mean girls that are like,
I hate
new
that.
girl.
Hate that.
Yeah. So like that
we've had
helped
it
me a lot.
happen here and it makes me cringe.
Yes.
Like we're not Regina George
Yes,
and, like,
exactly.
all those bitches.
And like the whole point of the program is to like welcome the newcomer. So I'm like so grateful they did that for me. And the house I was at was like a 7-minute drive from where my mom and my daughter were. So it worked out perfectly. So yeah, I would like see my daughter on visit and like see her frequently. Like I was afraid like she was gonna forget who I was or something, but like I was seeing her enough like that she didn't forget. I was so close, which is great because they could have sent me to any sober house and they sent me to one in Quincy, which is the town over from Weymouth if you don't know that. And yeah, so I just immediately like jumped into the program like head first. Like went to a meeting the day I got out, which I had always heard, like go to a meeting the day you got out of treatment, but I never did.
Did you do the 90?
I didn't, but like I would go to like 5 meetings a week.
That's good.
Yeah. I should have done 90 and 90, but I'm still sober.
That's all that matters.
Yes. But no, like going to a meeting the day you get out is super important. Like it literally just like got me going. So I went. And like I'm just so grateful that like the meetings I would go to, the people were so kind and so welcoming. Because I've heard people say that like they've gone to meetings and people.
Oh, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Why are North Shore meetings so fucking catty?
Really? I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start sending the girls down the South
I
Shore
know.
with you.
I want to go to a meeting with you. Do you still go?
I'm not in recovery.
Oh, you're not?
My dad will have 33 years.
Oh my
clean.
God. I keep talking to you
January.
like, oh, you know.
It's like I've worked in it. I have the mental health aspect of it. My whole family's been through it. So it's not like I don't know. I just don't know the physical substance part of it.
Yeah.
But like I know the background.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it.
Yeah.
I just didn't get to the point of where I started
Right,
substances.
right.
I'm sure if I let myself continue in the mental health aspect, I probably would have.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every day, by the grace of God, thank God I haven't turned to that because like I have a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You know, and like
have you like ever gone to a
insane.
meeting just as like a friend?
I have not. And you know something? I would love to.
Yes.
Because a lot of the shit that goes on at these meetings just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like
I would love to go to a meeting with you to bring you to like my home
Can I
group.
come to the South
Yes,
Shore?
yes.
Okay, I'm coming to the South
I know
Shore.
you're probably really busy, but I'll get into my home group. So I started going to meetings immediately. So like the house I was at is a 12-step recovery house. It's not just like a sober house, which there is a difference. Yes, you know. So like a 12-step house, like you actually are required to get a sponsor to do the steps. It's not just a house that you live at and like can do whatever you want, which was good for me. That's what I needed.
It's good structure.
Yeah, exactly. Structure is very important. So I was just at this point like on the hunt to get a sponsor. Like they're telling me to get a sponsor, I'm gonna get a sponsor. They're telling me to pray, I'm gonna pray. Like,
you were doing everything by the book.
everything that they wanted me to do, I was doing. And like the weeks were going by and I was like, oh my God, like I'm still clean. Like that has never happened to me before. Like I was just, like I said, used to going to these places and wanting to get high in weeks. And you know why? It's because I wasn't doing the work.
Right.
But what's different this time is I was actually doing the work and like shit was changing and like things were getting better and like I couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't believe the day that I woke up one morning and like had this realization that the obsession had been lifted. Like I truly never thought the obsession to want to get high would go away.
It was gone.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, like my first thought this morning wasn't like, how am I going to get high? Or like, when's the next time I'm going to get high? It was just like, what am I going to do today? And like, when I had that realization that the obsession was gone, like, it was life changing. So actually at this time too, I was in a PHP. I was in a new PHP, which I need to shout them out because they literally changed my life. It was a Rockland recovery program.
Love Rockland.
Yes, it was called MCA, Massachusetts Center of Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You must know Eddie Payne.
I know Eddie Payne.
Eddie Payne, like I literally credit him for like saving my life. Yeah. He's a North Shore kid, right?
Yeah, Malden.
Malden? Yeah. So do you
Yep.
know him from up here?
I know him from up here. I know him through treatment.
So you knew him like before he was sober?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so he was the 12-step facilitator at my PHP.
He runs one hell of a group.
Yes, dude. And like I remember my first day there was a kid there who I was just at Charles River with. And he was like, oh my God, you're going to hate this group. I can't even sit through it. And I was like, okay. And I went in and I loved it. Like maybe it wasn't for him because he probably wasn't ready.
He wasn't
but
ready.
It was good for me. Like I tell people Eddie's group, for me, it was like a college course for the 12 steps. And like I truly like was able to learn about the steps and like learn about walking through fear. Like that's what Eddie ingrained in my head, walk through fear. Like I literally want to get that as like a tattoo.
You should.
Yeah. So I just started going to PHP every day, going to meetings at night, going to see my daughter. Eventually started working, like was saving money, was just like doing all the things. I cut off my baby dad, which was like, it was hard obviously at the beginning, but I remember like my DCF worker saying to me like, if you ever like truly want to get sober, like I can't tell you, but I'm recommending like you should cut ties with this guy because he wasn't doing what I was doing. It's kind of like a flashback to the beginning of my story when my boyfriend got sober and I couldn't.
Right.
Which I just never thought about that till now. But so yeah, I was just like living the dream, and I know people say that and it's so corny, but like at that time in my head, I think I was on pink cloud. And like I feel like I'm still kind of on pink cloud. I mean, I don't feel like as excited as I was like when I first got sober, but like because obviously now like I have more stress than I did at the beginning because I didn't have as many responsibilities as I do now because I was like newly sober. But like life is obviously still amazing. But and people would warn me too, like you're on pink cloud, like this isn't gonna last forever. And I'm like,
it lasts as long as you want it to.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I still feel like I'm on pink cloud, but
You
I
can
just
have pink cloud
I just
for the
have
next
more
30 years.
responsibilities. Yeah,
Right.
like I always like talk about when I do commitments that like I get excited at night to go to bed because I'm excited to wake up in the morning to like seize the day and like what am I gonna wear? Like how am I gonna do my makeup? Like just being like a girl. Like I just love girly
It's the
things
time
and
that was taken from you
yes,
as a teenager that you're getting back. And like that's
exactly.
huge.
Like the whole time using and like wearing the same clothes for weeks and not brushing my hair and like just looking disgusting, and now I actually get to like take care of myself and like do things I've always wanted to do. So I stayed at Bennington for a year. I got my year sober in July. I had a big event at my home group.
Love that.
Which, yep, my home group is Walk the Talk in Quincy. Shout out. Friday nights at 7:30 Washington Street if you ever want to come. So I got my 1 year in July. My family came. My daughter came. I spoke, and it was amazing. And like such a fun sober date, July 3rd, because it was like
right before the 4th.
yeah, like the Weymouth fireworks are on July 3rd. So I brought all the girls from my sober house to the fireworks. And of course it rained, but it was okay. And like I just look forward to that. I'm like, every year I get to have like a party for my sober date.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
God willing that I stay sober, but like
Oh, you will.
yeah. So I was coming up on a year at the sober house, and like I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with DCF, because my DCF worker, his thing was that I go in cycles. He says like I stay good for a little while and then I relapse. So they're like obviously very apprehensive about giving her back to me like throughout the year I was at Bennington. And then I make it to a year sober, and my lawyer's like, all right, like she's got a year sober, like she needs to get her daughter back. And like apparently from what I hear, it's very uncommon to get the goal reversed from adoption back to reunification. From what I hear from other people, like once the goal is adoption, like you're not getting her back. But by the grace of God, because of this program, they changed the goal back to reunification, which never would have happened if I didn't stay sober. So I have my daughter back in my life today, full time.
I love that.
Yeah. And we go back to court in January, and hopefully the case is going to be dismissed, and like she'll be physically and legally mine. And yeah, I think we talked about this a little at the beginning, like transitioning my daughter. So after I left Bennington, like I had to find a place to go with her.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want me to go back to my mom's house because I had a history of using there.
Right.
So, and like a lot of the mother and children programs are for like babies. There's not many for like bigger kids, which my daughter's 3, so she's not that big. But so I knew about this place because when I had been at New Day when she was a little baby, and they were closing down at the time. I don't know if they ever reopened, but they were closing down for something, and like were panicking because they needed to place all the girls. And a few of the girls went to this house, Brookford, the house I'm at now. So I like remembered that name. And then when I was looking for a place to go, I was like, oh, I heard of this house, Brookford. And there just happened to be a bed there. And like it happened really fast. My daughter and I have the same birthday, August 6th.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I left Bennington like August 1st. We had her birthday party August 6th, which like is cool now because I'm like, I get to have a birthday party every year now because like it's her birthday, but like I'll just share it, you know? But yeah, I should have talked about that when I talked about having her. I had her on my birthday, which is crazy. So we found this place in Roxbury, and like, I think I might already talked about this at the beginning, but it's okay, right?
You're fine.
Okay. So, yeah, I was very apprehensive about bringing her there because she had been with my mom for so long. And, like, obviously she still knew I was her mom, but, like, my mom was, like, her caretaker at that time. So I, like, didn't want to take her from my mom because I'm like, this is all she knows. I don't want to disrupt her life. Like her daycare, like she finally just got used to going to her daycare. Mm-hmm. Like she would cry every morning, and like she finally just started like getting excited. And I'm like, now I have to rip her out of there and like go to this strange place. And like I was scared for her, but I was scared for me too, because like I told you, I get fear. And like, but now I'm hearing Eddie's voice in my head, like walk through fear. And like my sponsor is telling me like, wherever you are, your daughter is going to be happy. Like, she just wants to be with you. But, like, that was hard for me to believe. So we end up transitioning her there, and, like, she loved it. And it was so true. Like, she just wanted to be with me. And, like, we still go to my mom's house every single day. So, like, it's not like she's in 2 completely different worlds. Like, she just sleeps at this place. And then we're at my mom's hanging out during the day. So my mom still gets to see her. My grandmother still gets to see her. So not much has really changed in her life. But my life, everything has changed. But like, I'm so...
For the better.
Yes. But I'm like so grateful that like she will never have to know a mother who's using. because like she's only 3, so she won't remember any of this. So now we're living at this house, which it's considered like a family shelter, but like I was telling you earlier, it's like a very nice place. It's a triple decker divided into apartments, and I'm in a shared apartment with another girl and her daughter and a guy and his daughter, like all of us dealing with DCF, all of us in recovery. And so now Nikki has some like kids to play with, and so now we're just kind of waiting for the next step of our journey, which is transitioning out of there, getting housing, and just living with her full time. And like having to hear Eddie's voice in my head now, walk through fear, because I'm nervous. Like it's easier to live in an environment with other people sober,
Right.
but like on your own is different. So like
You have all the supports.
yes, like I have my sponsor who I love, my recovery coach, my therapist, like my clinician at the house, all my sober friends, like so grateful to my home group, like all the women there. I'm in an AWOL that I go to, like
Good.
I go on commitments. I'm actually chairing a commitment on Thursday, just like trying to be active and like being involved and helping other people, like is so important. Trying to give back like what was so freely given to me.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's literally, I know it was given to my dad, and I know that it wasn't given to my uncles because they both passed away. And like, I want to be able to give to people. So what you just said just like resonated.
Really?
Because I was given like the tools for the mental health. Like I went through a behavioral health PhD more than once. And if I didn't go through these things, I don't think I could possibly sit here and deal with helping other people.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think I could
Yes,
put it together
exactly.
because I
And,
wouldn't
like,
have the tools to.
I was like 3 months sober, like at PHP looking for a job, like applying to work in detoxes. And like looking back now, I'm like, I had no business trying to work at a detox to help other people with 2 months sober. I mean, I know my intention was good.
It was a good intention.
But it's like, I don't know. I saw somebody, I think it was Eddie actually posted about this the other day, saying how like a lot of people working in recovery are like faking it and like not there for the right reason. And somebody commented and was like, you should have at least 2 years sober before you work in recovery. And like, I kind of agree with that, even though I don't have 2 years sober. And like, I'm in the process of, I'm going to school in January to become a recovery coach.
I love that.
Thank you.
Good for you.
But like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I get told I shouldn't be working in this industry because I'm not.
Yeah,
at it.
right,
So
right.
it's like people are gonna say and do whatever they want, but at the end of the day, if your intentions are pure and you know that
I mean, I
you
just feel
want
like
to do it,
if you're working in recovery, but like actually working recovery.
you. Let me phrase this the right way. You can work in recovery, but that can't be your recovery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
100%.
you have to be set in
Yes.
stone with your own recovery
Yes.
and can't live vicariously through the people
Yes.
that you help.
And you can't be like, well, being at work is the same as being a meeting.
At a meeting,
Yes.
right.
Which
So,
I feel like
like,
probably happens a lot.
I feel like when people are so newly in recovery and they're like 4, 5, 6 months and they're trying to work in the field, and granted, it's like, well, someone help me, I want to help them. And I like that. That's like the right thinking. But at that time, you should be really thoroughly working your
Yes,
recovery.
absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, looking back, like I had good intentions, but like knowing what I know now, like
Yeah,
I
no.
never would have been able to like work. The detox I was trying to work at was like a men's detox in Boston with like people off the street. Like
It's rough.
I would have folded so quickly.
There was days I worked at the detox in Danvers, and I was completely ready to throw the towel in with my own situations in life. With that, like I'd go home and be so mortified by the end of the day and be like, I can't go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that, like, granted, I like helping people who are like within the detox phase, but I do better outpatient.
Yeah.
I know outpatient's like where I can like really help somebody.
Yeah. I agree.
Everyone's different, though.
Right.
What are you currently doing for work?
So currently I'm I don't really, let me just explain. So I work as a brand ambassador for like alcohol. company.
Okay.
Which, like, I feel like weird talking about because people are like, how are you in sobriety, but you work with alcohol?
So is my friend.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's no different than being a waitress. Like, I'm just giving people alcohol. I'm not drinking
You're not
it.
drinking it.
And, like, I know alcohol wasn't my problem, but I also am aware that if I drank it, I would eventually start using
Right.
heroin. So I'm aware enough to know that for right now, it's just a temporary job. It pays well. It's fun. I'm going to school in January to become a recovery coach through Bay State.
Love that. for you.
So, like, I always was like, I don't want to get a job in recovery because it's so cliche. Like, the addict to clinician pipeline. Like, I don't want to do that. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I am passionate about this and I do want to help other people. So, like, I shouldn't just not do it because, like, again, fear. Like,
Right.
I don't want people to judge me. Like, I'm so fed up with, like, the bullshit of fear keeping me back. And, like, I use that in my everyday life. Like, I always use this example of, like, I'm going to PHP and it's on a main street. And sometimes you have to parallel park. And, like, obviously I don't like parallel parking. So in my head, I'm like, I can't parallel park. Like, everybody driving by is looking at me being like, look at that friggin' idiot who can't park. She's so stupid. So I'm like, I should just leave and go home and go back to bed. And my mind starts spiraling just because I can't parallel park. I'm letting all this fear, like, control my whole brain. And then I just hear Eddie's voice say, walk through fear. And I take a deep breath and I say, Jackie, you can park. It's not that big of a deal. Like, even if you have to redo it, or even if people
Jackie, I
have to
gotta do it
drive
10
around
times.
you,
Don't feel
literally, like, it's not that serious.
That backup camera don't do shit.
And, like, Eddie would always say, like, you're not as important as you think you are. Like, nobody cares. So I just have to remember that. And, like,
He says
everyday
that?
life. Yeah. Not in a bad way. Just,
All right. I was like,
no, not in a bad way. Just meaning, like, so say you're going to get your chip and, like, you're afraid to go up because, like, people are going to be like,
It's the
look at how
fear.
she walks, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
fear.
So he would just be like, you're not as important as you think you are, meaning, like, nobody cares. Like, and it's actually
Of what
weird
you're
because,
thinking.
the other night, Friday night, I was doing chips at my meeting, and this guy came up to get, like, a 4-month chip, and he stumbled on the way up. I know. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't get embarrassed because I was like, literally, who cares? Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm sure he was super embarrassed. But, like, just little things like that in your everyday life.
Yeah.
You just can't let fear hold you back from everything. Because had I done that, I would be over today. Because,
you wouldn't be where you are today.
yeah. Like, I never wanted to ask somebody to be my sponsor. Like, I was so afraid. And, like, I always thought, like, my sponsor had to be, like, my best friend. They had to be the coolest girl in the room. And, like, the one with, like, the best story and blah blah blah. But now I know today, like, your sponsor is literally just somebody to take your hand and take you through the 12 steps. Like, you don't even have to know them. They don't have to be your friend. Can be a perfect stranger. As long as they have the knowledge and the ability to guide you through the steps, that's all you need. So yeah, I just started asking random people, and it took a few times before somebody like was able to do it. And, like, obviously, like, that hurt my ego too, but it's like they're not saying no because they think you're a loser. They're saying no because they have other responsibilities or obligations in their life and aren't able to do it, which is fine. So I eventually found one and it was great. And then, like, it didn't work out just because of, like, our schedules. So then I found another one, the one I have now, who's, like, been amazing, has changed my life. And shout out Brittany if you're watching. She's actually lives in the North Shore. She lives in Everett.
Love that.
Yeah. And yeah, so we, like, do commitments together and just, like, trying to do all the things. And sometimes it makes me sad because I wish I had done this years ago. I'm like, I wasted all my 20s, like, running amok when I could have made, like, such a great life for myself. But it's like, I'm doing it now, and, like, all that matters is now, and I can't think about the past because I'll just spiral.
You can't change it, but you can rewrite it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. What would you tell a newcomer that's coming into recovery? One piece of advice.
I would tell them, walk through fear. That's literally my biggest advice.
Walk through fear.
Yeah, like, if you learn anything from this episode today, it's just walk through fear and just ask for help. I mean, I know that's such a cliche thing to tell the newcomer to say, ask for help.
It's not, though, because a lot of people are
yes.
scared.
And like, ask for help goes hand in hand with walk through fear. Because like asking for help is the biggest one, but if you can't walk through fear, you can't ask for help.
That's right.
So you just have to like, just take a deep breath and raise your hand. Like, it's so hard raising your hand at a meeting, but once you do it, you feel so much better. Yeah. And just stick and stay. Like, if I had to talk to somebody right now who like was just in a relapse, I would say, go to further treatment. Like, do not just go to detox and leave. Go to further treatment. Do what they tell you to do. Go to the groups and listen. Like, take notes.
Listen.
Yeah. The day you get out, you're going to a meeting, okay? At the meeting, when they say, is anybody willing to be a temporary sponsor? Whoever raises their hand, you're going to go up to them and say, will you be my sponsor? You're going to walk through fear. And if they say no, you say, okay, thank you anyways.
And you go find another one.
You go find another one, and you don't give up, and you don't look for the girl with the coolest sneakers or the girl with the longest hair like I was trying to do. You look for somebody who has strong recovery and looks like they are doing the damn thing. And you just ask them to take your hand and guide you through the steps. And you don't just get a sponsor that you talk to on the weekend. You get a sponsor who's going to take you through the steps.
That's right.
Because some people have sponsors that's just like a girl you call and gossip to, which is great. But like, I heard this phrase once and they were like, going to meetings but not working the steps is like having AAA and not having a car.
That's right.
Right?
That's damn right.
Yeah. And it's true. Like, meetings help you stay sober, but like, it won't work long term if you're not working the steps.
That's right. That's right.
Meeting makers make it, yes.
That's
And like,
damn right.
so to continue, what I would say to the newcomer, I would say, go to a meeting the day you get out, get a job at the meeting, become the greeter. That's what I did. I became the greeter.
Service work is
so I would
huge in
get to know
recovery.
everyone.
Yep.
Like, because I was new at the meeting and didn't know anyone. So I became the greeter and like started introducing myself. Like, hi, I'm Jacki. Welcome. Got to know everyone. And then went from like being the greeter to like, now I do the chips. So now I get to give everybody their chips, which I love. And just getting involved in AA, like going to a PHP if you have the ability, like I said, like, but actually being involved. Don't just go there.
Don't go to
take
have
up
fun
space.
and
Yes,
take up space.
which is so important because
It's not a playground.
I did that a lot. Just went to my old PHP for a social gathering.
PHP doesn't stand for Playhouse.
Literally.
Let's get that straight.
I'm just like so happy and content sitting with self that like, I say this sometimes that like, I feel so good in myself today that like, I don't need a substance to make me feel better. And like, that's what I wanted my whole life. And like, now that I finally have it, I don't ever want to lose it. Yeah.
This wraps up episode 22.
Bye guys.